Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, 7 Steps to Building Your Cloud Practice. My name is Tom Poole. I'm the president of Cloud Nation, and I'm excited about our webinar today. We've got a whole lot to go through. We're going to get done probably at about 10 till 11 Pacific time, but with no further ado, let's get started. Some of the things we're looking to do today is to communicate essentially why it's important, why it matters to be looking at a cloud solutions practice, to kind of provide a roadmap on ways that you might want to think about getting started, break it down into 7 steps, and then at the very end give you some alternatives that, that may help you with your cloud solutions practice. Before we get started, just a couple housekeeping items. Number one, please feel completely comfortable asking questions. We'll reserve some time at the end. However, if you've got a question in the middle and you just need to ask it, please do so. There's a kind of an instant message feature within our webinar, and Jenny Hallmark is on, and she'll be taking the questions and then feeding them to me. So I encourage you to ask any questions. And then the last thing is that the slide deck will be emailed to each one of you. And so if you want to take notes, great, but don't feel like you need to take notes about what's on the slides, because the slide deck will be emailed to you. So enjoy. Let's get started. So to start off with, I just thought it'd be helpful just to outline what we see as kind of the 7 steps that people take to get involved with a cloud solutions practice. First is just understanding the cloud. What's it about? Why is it important? What are the trends? The next thing we thought we'd talk a little bit about was the changing role in IT. And I'm sure many of our listeners today are seeing the cloud changing the way that SMB'S or small, medium-sized businesses are embracing the cloud and IT. Establish your cloud strategy. Next one, item number 4, is creating your offering. Number 5, establish a communications plan. Number 6, which is really important, is that in today's market where the only constant is change and the velocity is just picking up quicker and quicker, is what's going on with ongoing education. And then number 7 is how to grow your cloud solutions practice. So with no further ado, let's get started. Step number 1 is understanding the cloud. So here are some numbers that are pretty interesting, is that currently about 6 out of 10 SMBs have indicated that they will always consider a cloud solution, and almost 4 out of 10 say that they would actually prefer a cloud solution. What's really interesting about that is over 80% of them saying that buying cloud computing from a local service provider is either critical or very important. And then the last thing, while there's certainly some parts of IT that's shrinking, overall IT is growing, and it's expected that cloud computing will account for about half of the new growth in IT spending. What are we seeing as far as trends? A couple things is lack of available talent with what we call cloud integrators or cloud solutions providers is big enough that some of the analysts are actually saying that it may threaten to stall cloud adoption. This growth has created quite a demand, and good quality, skilled cloud solutions integrators, sorry about that, are in short supply. IT pros, what we're seeing is that your ability to go out and be the trusted advisor, that indispensable resource to small and medium-sized businesses, is hugely important. And in fact, as we'll talk about in a bit, that small and medium-sized businesses on some level are getting frustrated because there's not enough people out there to talk to them about the solutions that they're looking for. The next slide is just, these are some of the bigger players in the cloud right now, and essentially they all have one thing in common, and that is they don't do office visits. In other words, if you say that there's all these small, medium-sized businesses out there that are looking to embrace the cloud, who's actually going to go out there and help them to embrace the cloud? And the reality is they do need help, and that's you. Going back to the bigger players in the cloud is essentially their strategy is to own the pipes, to capture a couple cents as the bits and bytes go through the pipes. But at the end of the day, if you really take a look at the numbers, this industry is expected to be a $177 billion industry by 2015. Well, 24% of it is what those big guys are doing, but actually 76% is left for cloud solutions providers, the people that are actually going to be out there doing the integration with the small and medium-sized businesses. So as we're looking at it, we're seeing that the cloud model is actually broken. The major players have the solutions to provide, but they're having a hard time getting in the hands of small and medium-sized businesses. IT pros are seeing this as an opportunity, but in many cases they don't have a solution that they can provide to SMBs. And the SMBs, the small, medium-sized businesses, are really looking for a cloud solution but don't know exactly where to go. So then there's a question, why the cloud and why now? And there's some pretty important reasons here. Is that number one is the estimates indicate that most SMBs will migrate to the cloud within 36 months. And this isn't necessarily going to be an all-cloud scenario. As we all know, there's going to be a strong probably presence for what we call a hybrid model, which will include some on-premises applications and some cloud applications. But the reality is most of these people, most of these SMBs will transition to some sort of a cloud model in the next 36 months. And the reality is once they make that transition, they're likely to stay with the same provider. So for IT pros, basically becoming that cloud solutions provider and getting your existing clients and prospects into the cloud has the ability to provide you with short-term growth for your business and also long-term growth in terms of annuity-based revenue. I mentioned this a few slides ago, but increasingly basically what's happening is studies are showing that SMBs are frustrated. They're looking for cloud solutions and they don't really know where to go. And really what they're looking for is a comprehensive offering. And as an IT pro, you're uniquely qualified to be able to provide that to them. So let's talk in step 2 a little bit about your IT strategy. In the first picture here, we have a Ferrari, and I say, really? Is this what IT has become? And to an extent, yes. If we take a look at it, the new role of IT is changing. It's moving from kind of a more internally focused effort that to that of a supply chain manager. And when we take a look at a car, take a look at it and say, while the consumer, when they buy the car, they want to put the key in, put it in drive, and go. They really don't care where all the pieces and parts come from. But the reality is the manufacturer buys the tires from one company and the radiator from another and the dashboard from yet another. And their job is to put all of that together and make it work. And that's pretty much the same as the new role in IT. It's basically, it's a scenario where your clients are going to end up having technology coming from a number of different sources. Again, in many cases there will be internally on premises, there will be servers, but there will also be solutions that are coming from cloud providers, and your objective is to aggregate these solutions and make them work together, and so your clients can focus on doing their business rather than really focusing on the technology. Another thing that we're seeing in the market is a movement called BYOD. Many of you have heard of this, and it's basically bring your own device. And what's happening is especially with the younger workforce, is that employees are showing up with their own devices. They're showing up with their own laptops or tablets. They want to access business information on a smartphone. The reality is there's enough of them that are doing this that many IT departments are being forced to embrace this. And it's a difficult thing because they're dealing with the potential loss of control. How do they protect the valuable company data, those kind of things. And I think that's one of the things that is leading people to look at cloud solutions, especially cloud solutions with virtual desktops. What we're seeing is those companies that are embracing cloud solutions providers are basically, they're becoming an indispensable resource for their clients and for the prospects that are embracing them. And again, your ability to become that indispensable resource today will provide profits for years to come, just because once these people decide to embrace a specific solution, they're likely to stick with that moving forward. One of the things we're also seeing is that as an IT professional is that the role of the IT professional in many cases is becoming as much a CIO as a CTO. And as data continues to grow and SMBs move to cloud computing, your ability to not only get people started with their cloud solutions, but also to be able to be their trusted advisor and their CIO will create a good feeder mechanism for additional service-related revenue. One of the last things in this section is just in kind of retooling your IT strategy. Is one of the things that we're seeing in the marketplace today is actually a new breed of business, and it's a breed that basically they're embracing cloud computing and they're leapfrogging essentially a lot of the traditional IT. And what this is doing is it's putting essentially enterprise-grade tools in the hands of small businesses, and it's allowing them to compete directly with huge companies and do so very efficiently. And the reason why I bring that to your attention is because as it comes to cloud computing and generating revenue from it, what we're seeing is these companies are big users of cloud computing, and they're companies that could provide good revenue moving forward. Establishing your cloud strategy. So who's buying cloud? One of the things we're seeing, and many of our listeners on today's webinar are probably seeing as well, is that a lot of the purchasing decisions that are being made are moving from IT into different departments, operations, finance, and marketing. And a successful strategy for cloud computing, it allows you to go in and speak to these folks, the kind of the more the business side rather than the IT side, and they want to hear cloud. So from a standpoint of embracing the cloud, another thing that we're seeing is that there are certain markets or sectors that are embracing the cloud in significant numbers. As an example, what we're seeing is we're seeing financial services, professional services. The government is huge. The government has got a very pro-cloud strategy. In fact, I think the CTO of basically the government's computing has said that the road to the cloud is a one-way street, and encouraging all governments to really take a strong look at embracing cloud computing. And again, these are opportunities that are available for cloud solutions providers to embrace these verticals. What they say is there's riches and niches, and we're definitely seeing that. Education is another big one. Virtual desktops for those at every stage of education are becoming big deals because they're cost effective and they're easy to upgrade on a kind of a mass level. So your cloud strategy. Well, If you're going to get into the cloud, one of the things that we would suggest is you start with a baseline offering, which is essentially a virtual desktop. And one of the things that we're seeing that people are looking for is that they're looking for a high level of security. They're looking to essentially forget the need to back up and make that part of the virtual desktop. And then again, from a BYOD standpoint, is what people are looking for is they're looking to access their company information from any device, anytime. Creating your cloud offering. This is kind of going to be a short section here, in that really we see two options for individuals that are interested in opening up a cloud solutions practice. You can create your own practice, or you can join an existing provider or a cloud solutions provider as a reseller. And we've got members of our SMB community that have gone it on their own and created their own cloud solutions offerings, and some of them, frankly, have done a good job. What we're also seeing is that the complexity that's necessary to go out and negotiate with a number of technology providers to put together the back-end data center components, to get involved in the education that's just so necessary with this, to create their own collateral material. All these things is frankly, it's a big undertaking. And one of the things that we've done with Cloud Solution or Cloud Nation is we've listened to our members of our community, and they've basically told us what they need in a cloud solutions offering, and that's kind of what we put together. And at the very end of this this webinar, we'll briefly go through that. Establishing your communications plan is, so most everybody's got a website and probably brochures and white papers and data sheets, things like that you provide to your clients that help them understand what line of business you're in. And as people are moving more and more to the cloud, it's important that you take a look at that and you integrate your cloud messages, if you will, into those communications. So one of the things that we would offer is that it's really important to take a look, as an example, at your website and make sure that there's information on your website that tells the world that you are a cloud solutions provider. From a standpoint of your collateral material, again, white papers, brochures, data sheets, things like that, it's really important that a cloud message is integrated into those. We see individuals that are successful as cloud solutions providers is what they're doing is, in many cases, they're putting together white papers that explain, as an example, why companies should look at embracing a BYOD policy and how to do that. Email newsletters that basically go out that talk about new cloud solutions that are available. Blogs that proactively present you as an IT professional as a thought leader within the cloud solution space. And so one of the things, again, that we're seeing people that are being successful at this is really taking a holistic look at all of their messaging, making sure that while you certainly include information about some of your more traditional lines of business, that you make sure and incorporate that cloud messaging. Continuing education is, as we know in this business, the only constant is change, and frankly, it's always been that way. But I think what we're seeing with the cloud is that the velocity of change is becoming greater and greater, and as a trusted advisor, as an IT professional, what's going to happen is you'll be out talking to your clients, and they'll have heard about different cloud solutions. And one of the things that we do here internally, and we would highly recommend, is that essentially what you do is you put in place different filters, if you will, that will allow you to stay on top of what's going on with the cloud. And one of the things that I just thought I would offer is that, personally, one of the things that I do is I use a product called Google Reader quite a bit, and as you'll see from the different categories there, is really staying on top of these so that I can go in on a daily basis and look at all the information on cloud and the changes and what's going on in the marketplace is hugely important. And bottom line, from an ongoing perspective, ongoing education, paying attention to that stuff makes sense. Next thing is growing your own practice. Is the one thing that I would offer or suggest is that, right now is obviously the cloud is top of mind with most SMBs. They want to talk about it, and so put yourself in a position that you're able to embrace that conversation. The other thing that we're seeing out there is that there is a, the recession caused everybody to tighten their belt, and essentially what happened is that there's typically a refresh cycle, is we know in this industry, of 3, 4, sometimes 5 years. And what happened is, in this whole process, is people didn't embrace that refresh cycle, and so a lot of people have old equipment, both servers and desktops. And those SMBs are absolutely ripe for discussion regarding cloud solutions. In many cases, what it can do is it can negate the need to buy as many new servers and software. And then in many cases, from a standpoint of the desktops, even though the desktops are getting old, with a virtual desktop and with cloud computing, most of the heavy lifting actually happens on the server side. And so in many cases, that old computer that's getting slow and doesn't operate as well as it did when it was new will work extremely well with a virtual desktop. The next thing that I would offer is that we're seeing trends in IT of successful IT professionals casting a wider net. And not only casting a wider net in terms of more clients, but also a balanced revenue stream. And with a balanced revenue stream, essentially what we're seeing is that not only the traditional services revenue or MSP revenue, but also starting to grow a book of business, if you will, based on annuity revenue. And that's what the cloud delivers, is that what we've put together with a cloud solutions platform is the ability for IT professionals to go out and actually start selling cloud solutions as a monthly subscription, and doing so in a capacity that provides our members with typically between 15 and 30% as far as a margin on a monthly basis. I mentioned at the end we talk a little bit about Cloud Nation. We have a few slides here to explain in more detail what we're doing. Is number one is we have created that virtual desktop. At the end of the presentation here, we'll give you a way that you can access a free trial that will be immediately provisioned, and I would highly encourage our listeners to do that. Essentially, with a virtual desktop, is you will be able to access your information from your desktop, from your laptop, from your tablet, and also from your smartphone. And the real beauty about this is that it's secure, it's always backed up, and from a standpoint of company information from your clients, is the information on those devices is actually an image. It's not the actual information, although you will have a very difficult time telling that. But the beauty there is that if let's just say a laptop was lost or stolen, a smartphone was left at a store, whatever the case may be, is since that information actually resides on the server, the challenge of having valuable company-related information captured is just not there. So how does Cloud Nation work? Is essentially what we do is we provide a complete solution for our members to deliver to your clients and your prospects. And our complete solution includes initial, what we call Cloud Essentials training. We provide certification. We provide a cloud solutions platform, which is essentially branded for you, that allows you to go out and embrace your prospects or clients and allow them to sign up for basically a menu of services, again, on a monthly basis, no long-term contracts, and then basically it allows us to, we provide essentially, if you want to think about it, a commission for selling that. And how it works from a billing standpoint is we have a couple options. Is that either, in many cases, our members are interested in us doing the billing and providing them with a monthly check, which we can certainly do. We also provide our members with the ability to essentially buy these services wholesale from us and sell them at whatever retail price they think is appropriate. We certainly provide kind of, if you will, manufacturer's suggested retail pricing, but at the end of the day, it's up to you as an IT professional how much you want to sell those services for, and then we invoice you on a monthly basis, and you in turn invoice your clients. So again, based on your practice, either one of those may be a good option for you. Education, from a standpoint of Cloud Nation, essentially what we've put together is we've put together a 10-course initial Cloud Essentials educational package that when you're done with that, then it will provide you with a designation as a Cloud Nation certified professional, which will be heavily promoting to end users, to SMBs. In addition to the initial certification, we're right now working on some advanced level certifications. Examples would be, we're working on one that would be a data migration specialist, a cloud security specialist, certified cloud engineer, things like that. But then on the ongoing education side, basically what we're doing is we're providing weekly product webinars where we're bringing in our technology partners to provide, information on upcoming releases, the value prop to your clients, further information on how their products work. And then we're also doing weekly business webinars, which is, webinars on sales and marketing strategies, what's going on with the industry, products that we're offering, new products that are available in the marketplace. And this is, when we looked at launching Cloud Nation, technology is a huge thing. We all know that. But at the end of the day, is the ability to provide the initial education, the certification, and then the ongoing education was, we viewed that as is almost our secret sauce in an effort to make sure that our members are the best educated, the most knowledgeable, and become that indispensable partner for the SMB. Certification, again, after the completion of our 10 courses, which it's about 8 hours worth of effort, is our members become Cloud Nation certified professionals, and we tout that heavily, and we'll continue to do so just to drive leads to you as our members. Just briefly, the technology we've got is we've got 3 data centers, all based in the United States, geographically dispersed. So we have geo-redundant data centers. N+1 architecture is architecture that just deals with low latency. And if you sign up for a free trial, you'll see that it's really, you can't see the latency. 99.9% uptime in our SLA. We are ISO 9001 certified. Everything that we offer with our virtual desktop is encrypted, SSL security, and all base packages come with high availability RAID. Our unified billing platform, this is just a screenshot, but essentially what we've done is we put together a menu, if you will, that you can brand. Right now, that's when you look at it, it says Cloud Nation. And for our members, we're not interested in being the frontline brand. We want you to be able to promote yourselves. And so this will be something that you'll be able to brand yourself. Typically what we do is we offer the option for you to say, powered by Cloud Nation. But again, we want you as members to be able to control the look and the feel and the branding. We want you to own your clients. Couple examples of things that are currently in our virtual desktop is you have the ability to get the base kind of virtual desktop exchange. We offer right now Microsoft Dynamics as a CRM, storage. We're right now negotiating with a number of providers to come in and provide line of business applications, including accounting software, as well as software for vertical markets, as an example, including the legal field, the accounting profession, things like that. And we expect to basically launch with some of the additional companies that we're right now negotiating with by the end of Q1 of this year, so probably like right around the end of March. From a standpoint of sales and marketing support is we have put together in our portal the ability to allow you to send out customized newsletters where we actually create the content, and basically you can upload your logo. You have the ability to either say automatically send out my customized newsletters, or I actually want to review those first to make sure that that's what I want to send out, and we definitely want you to have that option. We provide monthly branded client-focused white papers. In other words, what we're looking for is to always give you the opportunity to have a reason to have a conversation with clients and prospects. And so on a monthly basis, we'll be delivering white papers that are customized for you with your logo, your company, your address on them. Essentially what we've done is, from a standpoint of providing collateral material, is we've developed brochures, postcards, data sheets, things like that, that essentially what we can do is we can go in and customize, provide to you, and so the need to create all the collateral material that is helpful in growing your cloud solutions practice is completely on us. We're creating that material. You have the ability to customize it. Finally, what we've done is we've put together several templates for a customized website for our members. We understand that many of you have beautiful websites already, and so in the event that you've got a website that you want to continue to use, what we do is we provide you the ability to, we'll give you content, we'll give you imagery, things like that to add to your own website, or if you'd rather, we have the ability to spin up websites for you that are customized with, again, your logo, your brand, your information. A couple more slides here, and then we'll stop and ask questions. Is that this is an example of revenue generation and kind of how the money part of this works. In this scenario, essentially we've got a company with 10 employees, and what we're saying here is the average cost per virtual desktop is $80 per month. And so with 10 employees, the monthly charge there is $800. The annual charge is $9,600. And so annual revenue for our members, and I'm basing that on 20% margins. So when I mentioned that the monthly margins are between 15 and 30%, I kind of went on the low side of that. So on an annual basis, bringing on that one client would be worth $1,920, or almost $2,000 for our members. So ROI for you, and we'll go into this in a couple more slides here. The initiation fee for Cloud Nation is $2,995. And so if we say that the average size of your clients is 10, and of course some will be greater and some will be smaller, but with annual revenue of that client being just about $2,000, your break even for embracing Cloud Nation on your first year is you would need to bring in 1.5 clients. After your first year, after your initiation fee, we have an annual maintenance fee of $500, $495. And so from a standpoint of, again, if you take a look at your average size client being 10, revenue per client being about $2,000, that the cost of your ROI is actually 1/4 of one client per year. So if you had one client per year, it would more than pay for your annual maintenance fee. And then also, if you have a client that your collective cloud solutions business is at or above $20,000 per year of billing, then we waive that annual maintenance fee. Just a few things about us as a company. We're 100% channel focused. We don't sell to small and medium-sized businesses. We basically have set up our company so that our members can set their own prices. We provide a baseline pricing and essentially what might be considered manufacturer's suggested retail prices. And then the rest of it is up to you. You provide how much you want to charge your members. Cloud Nation is, if you will, a brand extension of SMB Nation, and so we've spent 10 years growing the business, one webinar, one workshop, one conference at a time, and so we've got a lot of experience with technology, assisting our community and IT professionals in growing their businesses, and we will continue to do the same with Cloud Nation. That's really our objective here, is to create a community, almost a co-op of cloud solution providers, and to make sure that we're providing them with a comprehensive offering, and one that includes, again, education, certification, and sales and marketing support above and beyond the technology. Kind of going over this, I think, basically we're 100% channel. You own your relationships. You control your pricing. The one caveat there is we have minimum pricing levels, and that's for you actually to avoid what we call margin erosion. And then the last thing is a satisfaction guarantee. We want you to sign up. We want you to use Cloud Nation. If you use it, you're not completely satisfied, we'll provide you a refund. Again, becoming a member is we have a $2,995 initiation fee. That includes, and that's per company. That's not per person. That's per company. And that provides you with complete access to our portal, initial and ongoing training and certification, sales and marketing support, and a dedicated client success advisor. The other thing is that members will need to successfully go through our Cloud Essentials training, which for many of you that have been doing this for years, this is going to be a pretty short exercise, but we want to make sure that our members are proficient at the cloud and understand exactly how to communicate that to small and medium-sized businesses. I mentioned that you have the ability to go take a free trial, and I think that we're unique in the ability to go in and actually sign up for a free trial, have it immediately provisioned. If you go to cloudnation.co, you'll see Carl the cloud guy and Betty the businesswoman, and click on Carl as an IT pro, and immediately on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll have the ability to sign up for a free trial. Again, we'll immediately provision that, send you login information, and for 30 days you'll be able to kick the tires. You'll be able to see exactly what a virtual desktop is. You'll be able to use it on your tablet, on your iPad, on your smartphone. You'll be able to get that virtual desktop experience and see if it works for you and if you think it would work for your clients. Last thing is if you are interested in Cloud Nation, my information is right here. It's tom@cloudnation.co, and I would encourage you to give me a call. What I can do is I can walk you through the back end, provide you with information. And by the way, I'm looking at this, and my telephone number is wrong. Please make a note, and I'll fix this before I send it out. It's actually 206-462-4590. So I will make sure to fix that before I send it out. But that's what I've got for today. I completely appreciate you spending a little bit of time learning more about how to grow your cloud solutions practice. Again, my contact information is right there, and basically I want to get us out of here on time before the hour, and it's 10:43, so we have time for a few questions if anyone's got questions. Jenny, do we have any questions?
I just got one in, Tom. The question is, everything is based on price. How much does it cost? If the cost looks reasonable, I'll check out the trial.
Sure. Great question. Is for a baseline virtual desktop, it is $49 per month. And then basically what you do is you have and by the way, that includes the security, the always-on backup. It comes with a host of basically applications that, it comes with Firefox and Chrome and IE and those kind of things. And then after that, anything that you want additional, there's a menu of services, and you can choose. You can choose, Exchange. You can choose Microsoft Office Professional. We have a number of Adobe products, and again, we're bringing in a suite of additional applications in the next 3 months.
Thanks, Tom. I got one other question here. Do you have apps for iDevices?
I'm sorry, could you say it again, Jenny?
No problem. Do you have apps for iDevices, like the iPhone, the iPad?
We don't have applications for them, but our virtual desktop works very nicely on iPhones and iPads. And so, by the way, let me back up just a minute and talk just very briefly about applications. We have our own suite of applications that we provide in our menu of services. But if your clients or prospects have, as an example, line of business applications that they use specifically for their company, we have the ability to provide that with your virtual desktop. Basically what we charge $10 per application per month. So in other words, if the base price for your virtual desktop was $49 and you had a line of business application that you wanted to load in there, then it would be $59 a month.
Great. Who are your technology partners, and which types of technologies are included? Voice, UC?
So our technology partners are Citrix, Microsoft, and Horizon Private Cloud. Horizon Private Cloud is basically our data center partner. Citrix is the tool we use to deliver the virtual desktop, and there's several Microsoft licenses that are involved in that. From a standpoint of VoIP and UC, or Unified Communications, we're currently talking to several of the providers that we've worked with for the last, 5 or 6 years, and we will be providing a VoIP solution within our menu of services, if you will, by the end of Q1.
Does it include Microsoft Office?
We have Microsoft Office Professional as an option in our menu of cloud solutions. However, there's an additional charge for that, and that additional charge depends on which version of Microsoft Office Professional that your clients are looking for.
Is there a limit on the number of partners that you are signing up in a specific area?
Simple answer is no. We don't have a limit, and we don't have exclusive areas, and as such, a couple things is number one is it's a greenfield. There's opportunities in each city, in each region, and so if you're interested in getting a head start, we'd encourage you to get going sooner rather than later. And then the next thing is this is a pretty big sandbox. There's room for a lot of cloud solutions providers, just in that virtually every small and medium-sized businesses is a good candidate for Cloud Nation and you having the ability to go out and provide them with a virtual desktop. So no, we currently don't have any limitations as far or exclusives within geographic regions.
Do you offer solutions that are only Exchange, SharePoint, etc. for the cloud with no virtual desktop required?
That's a good question. Right now, the virtual desktop is kind of our base offering. However, we've been approached by some of our members to say, you know what, we like a virtual desktop, but some of our clients don't want that, but they want other cloud offerings that they can integrate into their existing platform. So right now we're looking at ways to offer cloud-based solutions without the virtual desktop, and we will be doing that. However, at this point, the virtual desktop is kind of stock what comes with the baseline offering.
Who do you see as your competitor?
That's a good question also. Well, there's a number of firms that have I would say started boutique cloud solutions providers, and we're seeing a few of those across the country. On a larger scale, I would say that that we view Parallels as a being in the same sector. I'm not sure that I would say that they're a competitor, just because they tend to deal with more the medium-sized business and the enterprise as opposed to the small business. So I mean, for those on the webinar today, I guess my simple question is I would ask you to answer that question, is if you think of who is the cloud solutions provider out there, we're not seeing a lot of them. And frankly, that's the reason why we started Cloud Nation, just because we, ultimately there will be alternatives for sure. At this point, they're far and few between, and there's no kind of de facto place that small and medium-sized businesses know is a cloud solutions provider, or that that our members, IT professionals, can sign up with. So I know that's a bit of an ambiguous answer, and it didn't mean it to be, but we don't see a lot of competition out there right now.
Can virtual desktops be networked?
Can virtual desktops be networked? Well, I'm not sure exactly how that question is, what the listener is looking for, but essentially what happens with the virtual desktop is that, as an example, if you want storage, then there can be shared storage, so it would be just like a file server within your office. So I guess the simple answer is yes. For the individual that asked that question, I would offer, if you want to kind of take a deeper dive, what I'd like to do is maybe get on the phone with our CTO and drill down and answer that question based on kind of what you're looking to accomplish, maybe a little bit more detailed.
Any customization capabilities, i.e., I have a customer that uses a specific LOB app that he would need?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, the simple answer is that we've got, there's probably over 5,000 applications that are, since this operates kind of in a Citrix environment, that are Citrix-friendly applications. And so it doesn't take us but a minute to determine whether the line of business application that your client is looking to incorporate works on our platform. But we can tell you that in advance. And then again, basically what we do is we allow you to provision that for your client, and then the charge for that would be $10 per user per month additional on top of the base desktop.
Perfect.
Any other questions, Jenny?
I got one more here, and then I know we need to wrap it up here.
Yep.
Do you sell direct to the end user or exclusively through the channel?
I love the question. No, we're a 100% channel operation. In other words, we're committed to providing our services to you, the MSP or the reseller, and we do not sell to end users. End users can't buy from us. If we have an end user come to us, what we'll do is we'll refer them to our members as leads.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for your time today.
Absolutely, Jenny, and just a big thank you for our listeners. And again, I would encourage you to go sign up for your free trial and check us out. See how we work for you. See if that's something that would work for your clients. That's number one. And then number two is we will be sending out this PowerPoint presentation. In addition to, we've got a white paper that kind of goes over the market opportunity, much of which is in this webinar today, but there's still a fair amount more, and we'll go ahead and include that in the email that we send out. So again, appreciate your time. If you have any questions, you've got my email right there. Please reach out to me, and I'd love the opportunity to talk to you.